Hey guys, this is Eureka John at Eureka Street Crypto Hub, and once again, I'm doing an episode of Lunch Break at the Factory, episode number 4, I think. Today is January 22nd, 2021, and coming at you live from my job at lunch. And yes, I do work a wage labor job, and I am working my way towards financial fame and fortune, or maybe not fame, but at least financial fortune, I hope. Hopefully. Anyway, here I am. Today, I just wanted to talk about the FUD that is going on. Let's see, end the FUD. So here, bam. I will go ahead and, well, where'd it go? Yeah, there. Oh, that's my logo. Yep. Yes, I'm so professional at everything I do. Trust me, I know it. Anyway, whatever. I was going to add some text, but who cares? Anyway, I just wanted to talk about all the FUD that's going on with the Bitcoin crash. It went down to about 29,000 maybe a couple days ago or yesterday. And I mean, just think about it. At this time, last December, around December 18th or something, we were so stoked that Bitcoin was at 29,000. And then here we are, we're all worried and anxious and just caught up that Bitcoin's at 29,000. Well, now it's not actually at 29,000 anymore. Bitcoin is currently, let's see here, what the current state of Bitcoin is. I mean, 32,936 is rebounding back up. And so why do things crash like that? And personally, I mean, I feel it's just a healthy retracement. I've been doing this now for a couple years, and I've seen some things, some market retracements, and all the usuals. The YouTubers go on and they scream, the sky's falling. They don't know what's going on. All the YouTubers come on with the thumbnail images to try to create clickbait of them going, "Oh no!" and red light sirens and all types of stuff. I mean, there's the usual culprits, and you know who they are if you watch YouTube regularly. I did have an image around here somewhere. Let me see if I can pull it up in my email real quick. Well, here we go. I'll pull this email up. Oh, no, I don't have it. Okay, well, whatever. Let's go back to CoinGecko. So Bitcoin's at $32,905.42. All right. So anyway, the point of what I was trying to say is I think there's some manipulation in the market. Yes, there's healthy retracement because there's a bunch of hype that goes up and then people cash out. And then when they cash out, it causes the price to drop because people are pulling profits, and there's nothing wrong with pulling profits. I mean, I'm not in here to hold for dear life for my entire life. I want to spend some of the money that I earn. And maybe one day we won't even be cashing out to fiat because fiat dollars will just be completely irrelevant and worthless, and it will just be basically food stamp money. Especially if all this universal basic income starts to take over, they're not going to give us anything of value. They'll end up giving us the equivalent of food stamps. So it's good to invest in other types of assets that will allow you to have a hedge against basically just being a food stamp recipient. The CBDC, the central bank digital currency, the digital dollar that's going to come in and be given out as UBI to everybody is basically just going to be glorified digital food stamps. So Bitcoin is a hedge against stuff like that. I try to get gold when I can and silver. I'm not against other assets. I buy Ethereum. I invest in some other lending platforms and in things like tokenized real estate and stuff like that. There's a whole lot of ways. And of course, I just have my standard 401k. So there are other ways to invest, but try to get away from the dollar if you can. I mean, they're just printing. And they're trying to print their way out of the hole that they've dug themselves in, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. Anyway, so you have the hype cycles. So time to buy Bitcoin, time to buy Bitcoin, time to buy Bitcoin, and all the people want to buy right when it's at the top because everybody else is buying Bitcoin and they suddenly see it's valuable. And then the whales come in and they all sold. They dropped the market, and people took their profits. And then the hype builds back up, and then Bitcoin becomes more and more valuable. and more valuable. And then the FOMO sets in, and everybody's screaming, time to buy Bitcoin. And then more FUD comes. And then FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, for those of you who are not really familiar with the crypto market. And a lot of FUD can be manufactured on purpose by the very people who want to buy it after the FUD sets in. And I'll get to that in a second. But the last cycle of FUD happened and the Bitcoin price dropped, and the guys that came in to buy it are Grayscale, and PayPal, and Cash App. And I write about that time too. MicroStrategies came in, Michael Saylor bought in, and Square, Jack Dorsey. So these are some big people that Paul Tudor Jones, Bill Miller, a lot of these large investors came in and have bought or are still buying. Every day, every week, every month, more and more and more. Grayscale, a large, huge digital asset management or just asset management firm. They have huge portfolios of all these different types of funds. I can't even begin to explain everything that they do because I am far from a financial advisor. I'm just a dude who tries to follow crypto. And these videos, I mean, nobody follows me. I mean, let's get real. Like my video or not, or subscribe, that would be great, but I don't really care. I'm really doing these videos trying to figure out how to learn how to articulate my thoughts on this, because there's a lot going on up here. You may not think so, but there is, and I'm trying to figure out how to formulate that through my words, and these videos help me to articulate this stuff, or at least learn to articulate. So anyway, during the last dip, Grayscale, PayPal, and Cash App came in and bought it all up. And then we had Bitcoin hit $41,500, maybe even $42,000. I'll have to double check. And then now we had this major crash. Some FUD came out. We had Janet Yellen basically go on the record, and she suggested curtailing cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, saying they're mainly used for illegal financing. The same old FUD, the same old Bitcoin is used by money launderers and criminals. That you need to ramp up regulation. Yellen's comments suggested that incoming Biden administration could be hostile to cryptocurrencies and to ramp up regulation. Watchdogs from around the European Central Bank and UK's financial regulator have recently expressed concern about cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Christine Lagarde, the head of the European Central Bank, I believe, she also talked about how Bitcoin is full of criminals and shady people and companies, and she says here, Janet Yellen says, cryptocurrencies are a particular concern. I think many are used, at least in a transaction sense, mainly for illicit financing. Only a very, very small percentage of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin are used for illegal and money laundering activities. Actually, more cryptocurrencies would be used, and more of the dollars and the fiat currency would be used for illegal activities when you think about it. Many investors have expressed similar worries. Warren Buffett said last year that Bitcoin has been used to move around a fair amount of money illegally. Well, I mean, maybe he should look at some of his own companies and accounts, and maybe some foul play type of activities that might be going on under the record within the dollar. So I don't know. Look at your own self before you point the finger at other places. Crypto, they're just, a lot of these institutions are worried about cryptocurrency and decentralized finance coming around and transforming the banking system the way it has been. They've gotten comfortable with the way the banking system has been, and the people have said enough. We're tired of all the surcharges. We're tired of all the fees and the fines and the credit system and people telling us what we can and can't do with our money, or being able to not have access to our money. So we're sick of it. And they've created Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in order to get around this. And now, all of a sudden, the institutions want to jump in and take part. And what better way to drive the price down and secure an extra 8% profit than to create a bunch of fear and uncertainty and doubt in the media? So you have Janet Yellen, you have let's see what else we have here. We had a double spend announcement come about Bitcoin, and it got all over the news that there was a double spend on Bitcoin. And what does double spending mean? Well, what that basically means in a broad sense is that if there is a double spend on a Bitcoin blockchain, then it basically renders the entire project useless. Bitcoin is not secure. It's open and vulnerable to compromise and attack from hackers, and therefore Bitcoin is worthless. And that's what people were trying to say. And it spread all over the news. Between this and Janet Yellen and Christine Lagarde and all this FUD going around, the prices dropped. And let's go into real quickly what the double spend is. Interest in double spending grew after the recent news that the Bitcoin network processed the same Bitcoin in two transactions, the very double spending scenario Bitcoin was specifically designed to prevent. The problem with electronic money and electronic currencies was the whole issue of duplicate transactions and double spending that could happen. When you send an email, you don't send that specific email to somebody else. You send a copy of your email. And that was the problem with digital currencies, because there was always other copies of the transaction around. The thing about Bitcoin is that hash verifies one specific transaction, and that transaction is sent to somebody else, and it's not duplicated or double spent. Let's say here, the Bitcoin double spend media headline has certainly spooked investors, but it's a misunderstanding how the Bitcoin network operates. In this case, a chain reorganization of one block occurred, which is a fairly common occurrence. To put it another way, no Bitcoin was double spent because no new coins were added to Bitcoin's supply. Instead, the same coins from the same wallet were registered in two different blocks during a typical split in Bitcoin's blockchain. So what does that mean? It means it happens all the time. I mine Ethereum out of my computer at my house with two GPUs, and they have what's called uncle blocks. And then in Bitcoin, they're called orphan blocks. And that's what happens when two nodes happen to find the block at the same time, and then they kind of float around until the computer and the network and the system can confirm transactions. In Bitcoin, it has to confirm a transaction 6 times. And if there are two simultaneous solutions, then the solution with the higher hash power is the one that wins. And the other one just falls away and is no longer valid. In Bitcoin, that's called an orphan block or a stale block. And then that ends up just falling away, and then the block with the highest hash power continues on to move forward. So there was never any double spend. It's just a standard transaction process that tries to verify which block is the correct block. In Ethereum, and then the person who mined that orphan block does not get the reward. In Ethereum, it's called an uncle block. The person who mined the block gets a reward, but less of a reward, to get specific. Let's see here. I found a website that explains it in a little more detail. There's more about Janet Yellen. So here we go. We have My Cryptopedia, which is a great website for beginners to look up a lot of these terms. And the orphan, uncle, and genesis blocks explained. The orphan blocks is exactly what I just told you. They're commonly associated with Bitcoin. They're valid blocks that meet all the necessary requirements needed in order to be added to the blockchain, but are, however, still rejected. It occurs when two miners produce a block at similar times, and happens because the acceptance of the block into the blockchain by the nodes on a network does not happen instantaneously. Let's see here. Constructed blocks are required to be propagated across the network to all the nodes in order to ensure its validity, at which point latency issues may arise. So what probably happened is, and this is what people are guessing that happened, is, let me find the actual page on that. This is, Investopedia has a really good explanation of orphan blocks as well. Okay, so where is this explanation? Okay, so let's go down here. No double spend. Okay, so the supposed double spend first became news yesterday after BitMEX research reported on block 660,833's abnormalities on Twitter. The reorganization meant a stale block, also sometimes called an orphan block, but they called it a double spend, and that's how all the FUD spread around. And I don't know if that was done on purpose. I suspect it probably was. It looks like a perfect storm caused by one block reorg and a replaced by fee transaction. A replaced by fee transaction occurs when you tell your wallet to send the same Bitcoin again but with a higher fee, with hopes that it will be confirmed with a lower fee transaction. So what happened is the person that did a transaction, they did it at the least possible transaction speed. They were being super cheap. What happens is when you send transactions, sometimes, depending on the wallet, it'll give you an option to adjust the fee to make the transaction speed slow or fast. And the higher fee that somebody pays, the faster their transaction will go through, and it'll go through first and is more guaranteed to actually get to go through. This has been a huge problem with Ethereum lately due to the clogging up of the system. But that's a whole other topic. But anyway, somebody paid the bare minimum of the fee, and it was going through, and it was taking a long time to go through probably, and they got impatient, and then they ended up trying to run the transaction again with a higher fee. Well, in the meantime, the lower fee popped through, and then the higher fee was still on the way going through, but then since the lower fee already went through, the higher fee block basically just turned into an orphan block. And the lower fee block went through and continued on its way, and then the higher fee block ended up floating off as an orphan block. And in completely layman and low level and high level terms, that's what happened, and there was never any double spend. So all this FUD for nothing, but as a result, the market dropped in combination with Janet Yellen and in combination with Christine Lagarde, and you have a perfect situation for big guys like BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, UBS to come in and buy, and that's exactly what BlackRock did. BlackRock decided yesterday or the day before, just right at the very bottom of this price trough, to add Bitcoin futures to funds, which brings me to a suspicion: did BlackRock or some of these larger giant companies intentionally cause this FUD? What does Janet Yellen have to do with BlackRock or any of these larger companies? I'm sure quite a bit. I'm sure she has her hand in the cookie jar, and they want a nice 8 to 10% discount on the Bitcoin that they buy so they can find a good place to enter the market. Just makes sense. I don't know. So first you have the whales investing. Then you have large companies, but not quite institutions. And then you have the large institutions jumping in. And what is next? We're going to have the governments jumping in, and it's already starting. Ecuador, Venezuela, lots of countries are beginning to buy Bitcoin to add to their books. And it's beginning. Let's see. Countries buying Bitcoin. And, a lot of poor countries who don't have access to the dollar, who are being banned or embargoed or whatever you call it, they're starting to buy Bitcoin to hedge. Let's see, 9 countries show huge growth in cryptocurrency interest. 7 countries, okay, let's see here. Let's see here. Next cryptocurrency evolution. I have no idea what website this is. But I don't know. I've been seeing announcements, and I will look it up and come back with another broadcast about a list of countries that are actually hedging their books with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin as a way to get around using the dollar. It's really fascinating. But anyway, so that's basically today's broadcast. I just wanted to talk about Janet Yellen and her fear, uncertainty, and doubt about Bitcoin. Christine Lagarde made an announcement, and I covered that a couple episodes back, and then you had this double spend issue, and all that resulted in the drop in price of Bitcoin. But you know what I did? I bought some Bitcoin. I bought some Bitcoin yesterday, and I bought some Ethereum, and I bought some other tokens that were on the down low, and I did buy some VGX token. Voyager is turned out to be quite an amazing wallet. It's a great place for noobs to onboard and to learn how to get into cryptocurrency. You can connect your bank account, and then you can add in your dollars, and you can immediately buy cryptocurrency with those dollars. And you don't have to have some kind of 3 or 4 day waiting period for your bank to work with Voyager. You can immediately buy crypto. And I bought some of this VGX token. It's doing really well, and I've already made really good money off of my investment off the VGX token. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not paid to say anything. This is just a wallet that I discovered on Digital Asset News. News Asset is his Twitter. Digital Asset News is his YouTube show, and he's been pitching Voyager for a while, and I finally caved in and downloaded the app, and it is really good. It's a great way it's a great onboard platform from dollars to crypto, so definitely check it out. I'm not going to give you some kind of referral code because I don't have one, and I don't care, but I'm just showing you what's working for me. Let me check my Theta feed here and see what's up. What's up, Scorpion? Yes, they are posturing to protect themselves, and they're trying to get that discounted cryptocurrency. Let me go ahead and gift you a little something here, and I appreciate you tuning in. I'll give you some T-Fuel. I love it when people listen in to my quick little broadcasts. I don't ever announce whenever I'm going to broadcast. I just do, just because I am I have a job, I have a life, I have kids, I have a wife, and I just broadcast when I can. And I do 2 different formats. I do this type of format where I just go over news, and then I do formats where I do actually semi-organized, outlined reviews of different projects. My last one I did was the Bitcoin standard hash rate token. Before that, I did the Neutrino and Waves project. I've done Cardano, I've done Doge, Zilliqa, Nimic. Nimic, by the way, is a really cool project. I've done Chainlink. The last one I did was last night, and I covered smart contracts and the God protocol, and I went pretty in depth with that, going into some really old papers from 1997 and 1977 even, about the origins of the smart contracts. So, those can get pretty long, and whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, man. Anyway, I guess I better get back to work. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I appreciate you guys for watching it. Ignore the FUD, ignore the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Keep hedging, keep spreading out, get away from the dollar. Cash is trash. I can't remember who said that. Somebody recently, some big-time investor. Cash is trash. Was it Warren Buffett? I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. Look at what the big guys are doing. Ignore what some troll on Facebook is telling you, or some guy in your some other sales guy at work, saying, it's all just a Ponzi scheme. It's just, internet funny money. It's pyramid scheme. It's this or that. No, if people like Grayscale are jumping in, yeah, people like BlackRock are jumping in. If PayPal's buying up all 900 Bitcoins that are produced per day, the supply is running out. And you know where they're going to turn to when the supply is completely running out? They're going to turn to you and me, the retail investor. And you know how much we're going to sell that Bitcoin for? It ain't going to be cheap, I guarantee you. So hold on to your Bitcoin. And by the time these guys want to jump into the game, then yeah, we'll be doing all right. And right now, if you are in this game and you're doing this, you're early. So you'll be sitting pretty if you just hold on. Anyway, enough of the hopium. You guys have a good day. Let me just check the Theta feed really quick. Yeah, no problem, Scorpion. I got to go now. I got to get back into work. I got a lot of crap going on. But yeah, and I got some fried chicken I got to eat too. So grocery store fried chicken, man. I'm keeping it classy. Yeah. All right, man. Well, you guys take care, and I will see you on the flip side. Let me get out of this, and okay, later.